So hello all, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are covering a very special moment that has been etched into the MMA history books, the crowning of the first African heavyweight champion, Francis Ngannou. The story of Ngannou's rise to the top is truly beautiful. Hailing from Cameroon, he grew up in poverty, which forced him to have to work in a sand quarry at the mere age of 10. So at 10 years of age, he was engaging in hard labour to help put food on the table for his family. His resilience and determination to live a better life and follow his dream took him to Paris, where he lived homeless for a period of time, before being taken under the wing of his former coach. This is a real rags to riches story, and with his actions, he has showed every Cameroonian and every person in the world that your starting circumstances in life don't have to define you. You can do anything, if only you are willing to put in the work to get there. Francis Ngannou did that, and his story is truly inspiring. He's given hope to generations to come. So what categorises his fighting style? And the answer to that is his terrifying power. Freakish strength mixed with good technique and a natural killer instinct all mix to give us some of the most breathtaking finishing sequences imaginable. He has stoppage victories over a who's who of heavyweight legends. Let me just read out some of these names. Andrei Arlovski, Alistair Overeem, Curtis Blades, Cain Velasquez, Junior Dos Santos, Jairzinho Rozenstruik. But it is not just the fact that he stopped them, it's the manner in which he did it. He's known as the Predator, and he manages to separate his opponents from their consciousness in a way that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. When he goes for the finish, not many can deny him. And apart from Derek Lewis, one man did, and that man was Stipe Miocic in their first fight. He survived an early onslaught to wear Ngannou down and expose some holes in his game with grappling and cardio. But true to his character, Ngannou went back to the drawing board and became a better fighter. Let's take a look at some of the improvements he exhibited in the second fight. The first impressive improvement from the first to second fight was Ngannou's temperament. In the first fight, we see Ngannou moving with urgency and desperation. He's swinging wildly, and the pace is very frantic. Miocic managed to use some great head movement to avoid this power, along with capitalising on Ngannou's overcommitment to clinch takedowns and start the process of wearing on Ngannou, testing his cardio in the process. If we contrast this to the second fight, Ngannou comes out patient, stalking, like a predator eyeing its prey. We see Ngannou feeling with his jab and feinting with an attack a little bit lower, and then using this to land a beautiful right hand up top. But after missing the follow-up hook, he doesn't rush. He goes straight back to feinting. This is a fantastic evolution of attitude towards the fight. He doesn't need to desperately finish Miocic. He has the confidence to take his time and let the KO come to him rather than chase after it. This patience means he isn't overcommitting with his punches, and that in turn means that Miocic can't time the takedown. He doesn't have Ngannou's forward momentum, that recklessness, to help him secure the takedown. Ngannou has the presence of mind to right away counteract the single leg attempt that Miocic attempts. He does this by stuffing the head and sprawling his hips, and it's a massive moment in the second fight. The grappling exchange actually finishes with Ngannou snapping Miocic down and landing punches. Miocic now knows that he isn't just dealing with the force of nature. That force of nature is now directed and calculated. Terrifying. Another addition to Ngannou's game was the kicks. He started to kick the boxer. But what do we mean by this? Well, Ngannou is constantly twitching and feinting. He is also throwing a measuring, non-committed jab, signalling to Miocic that he may be ready to attack at any time. Psychologically, this puts Miocic into a mode where he may need to move his head, like in the first fight, to avoid the power, or he might have to move his feet. This means Miocic has to set his weight to move his head, or get on his toes to move, and then boom, Ngannou punishes these methods of defense by landing heavy low kicks on Miocic. And this is why he can land them so clean, because he has Miocic guessing with what he's going to do. Beautiful. Another way we see Ngannou use his kicks in a different way. He's fighting out of a southpaw stance here, and we see him dip his weight and twitch a feint with his left hand. This confuses Miocic and gets him parrying. The parry ends up around his body, and this gives Ngannou the opening to slot in a lovely left head kick to the chin. All made possible by feints, diversity of attack, and patience that Ngannou is displaying. We also see Ngannou building on his success and advancing his combinations to have success. In the first round, Ngannou lands a clean lead right hand. The focus isn't on the power, but on the speed and lack of telegraph. He almost pokes him with it. Now, going into round 2, Ngannou builds on this combination by throwing the same shot again, but following up with a piercing left hand that comes direct like a jab, but is loaded by the right hand to generate speed and power. A great 2-1 combination. He catches Miocic clean because Miocic hasn't even seen the first right hand. The fast lead right hand is a great weapon because conventional wisdom is to always lead with the jab. So if the right hand is quick enough and has no telegraph, it can be a real stunner and create an opening for a devastating follow-up shot. The finishing sequence of the fight is absolutely breathtaking. Ngannou smells blood and starts to pursue Miocic with punches. He misses with a wild left hook, and Miocic manages to stun him with a lovely counter right hand as he is pursued by Ngannou. We see the legs slightly wobble, and the momentum shifts, and Miocic moves in to do some damage, but he is met by a crunching left hook from Ngannou that crumples the legs of Miocic and ends the fight. Scary precision and scary power, and he had to come through adversity to do it. The action went from 0 to 100 really quickly, and when the dust settled, Ngannou was left standing after taking Miocic's power, but Miocic couldn't take his. Fantastic action, fantastic fight, and it had it all. Great technical improvements from Ngannou, great approach to the fight, and an amazing KO to end it. We would also like to give a shout out to Stipe Miocic here, who is an outstanding human being and an outstanding champion. But the fall of empires and eras of champions is part of the sport, and one of the reasons it is so loved. And now we enter the era of Francis the Predator Ngannou, taker of souls and giver of hope. Let us know your thoughts on the fight, and let us know how you think Ngannou matches up with John Jones in what promises to be a mouth-watering showdown.